Good morning, welcome to the channel. We are back at the cottage build. This is part 2 of the shower installation we're doing here. If you haven't been following along, we've been doing a self-build off-grid cottage. There's a playlist dedicated to that if you're interested. In today's video, we're finishing up one of the larger jobs that have to be done yet at this build, and that is the shower installation. And in today's video, we'll be installing the mosaic hexagon tile onto the shower base. I'll pull them out so you can see what they look like. These are them here. It's a mosaic hexagon tile. There's like a marble pattern to it. That will be for the floor, the shower tray. And then for the walls, we use a large format 12 by 24 inch tile. Has a bit of a marbly look to it as well. So what we'll end up with is what should go pretty good together. So we'll be tackling this today. Okay, this is a new system that I haven't used before, so before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I want to make sure I understand how the drain system works. Looks like they do have places for adjustable feet. So that goes like that. So as it sits there, it is 1/8 of an inch low, as you can see right here. But that should be the thickness of my mortar actually. It will be pretty close. For these half pieces here, I'm able to use my tile cracker and just snap them in half like that. And then for this sharp corner here, which is a little jagged, I don't know if the camera will pick up on that or not, I'll just hit it with my stone, round over that edge a bit so it's not sharp, and then that will be my finished tile piece here. So I'll go ahead and cut up a bunch of those. There's no need for me to get out my wet saw just to make this cut. As you can see, I can just use my tile nippers, nip off that corner. That way that can sit against the wall, and then my tile coming down on the wall will cover up that gap. Just to save a bit of work down the road. Bring down my wall tile, it will cover. So there's no need to fill in those little pieces doing it this way. Okay, I'll carry on and finish laying this out. Okay, all my tiles have been dry fit, so I can go ahead and mix up my mortar. I've already removed the bigger sheets out of the way, and I'll piece together the smaller section behind the drain, one at a time basically, so I don't confuse all the little pieces. Got my mortar here, pretty much ready to go. I'll be using a 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch trowel and a float to press down the tiles flat, just to make sure they're embedded in that wet mortar evenly. The biggest thing here is to know that my tray is already pretty sloped, so I don't have to do any adjustments. I just have to make sure when I comb my mortar, I do it evenly. And that will be my biggest help. So if I just leave that there, I should be able to throw these pieces in. That piece, this piece. This is where I use my float to push down. Like that. and I just put these little pieces on. Okay, so that tricky part is done now. I can go ahead and continue on. It's a little easier from this point onward. So I'm gonna put you on a time lapse and you'll be able to see the full scoop. And then we'll check back in and I'll show you the overall finished product. Alright, I just did a bit of a cleanup. The shower tray is now done with those mosaic tiles. I did a few large format tiles just because I had mortar left over, but the rest I'll tackle tomorrow. It might take a bit of time just because there's a lot of cutting involved, because the tray is sloped, so I have to cut all my tiles to match that slope. And, oh, one more thing, bit of an update about what's happening out here in the main area. So coming out of the bathroom into the main area, you'll notice a few changes. First, they stained the 2-inch maple island, that darker color. Also installed those shelves, that's what I was working on a few episodes ago. And the sliding doors as well. They also rearranged. I don't know if you remember it last time, but this makes it feel a little more open, I feel like. That's gonna do it for this episode. If you want, go ahead and check out the playlist dedicated to this self-build off-grid cottage we did throughout the past year almost now. Yeah, there'll be a few more videos left with me finishing up this job and maybe an overview when everything is officially done. It's almost been a full year, so might be the 1 year closure to the series. Anyways, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.